During World War II, hundreds of thousands of German soldiers were captured by Allied forces and sent to prisoner of war camps in the United States. What many of them discovered there shocked them more than any battlefield experience. The food was better than what they had ever eaten while serving in the German army. In Germany, by the later years of the war, food supplies were collapsing. Soldiers at the front lines were surviving on watery soup, stale bread, and tiny rations of meat. The German military machine, once powerful, was running out of everything, from fuel to flour. Even officers often went hungry. So, when captured German soldiers arrived at American POW camps, they expected punishment, starvation, and misery. Instead, they found full meals and sometimes actual kindness. The United States followed the Geneva Convention strictly. POWs had to be treated humanely and fed the same rations as American troops. That meant bacon, eggs, bread, coffee, and sometimes even desserts. For German prisoners who came from bombed-out cities or freezing front lines, this was hard to believe. Some thought it was a trick, that the food was poisoned or that the good treatment was temporary, but it wasn't. Daily life in American POW camps became surprisingly structured. Prisoners worked on farms, repaired roads, or did construction, earning small allowances they could spend at camp canteens. They could buy soap, cigarettes, candy, even postcards to send home. They played football, put on plays, and listened to music. Many were amazed at how organized and fair it all was, especially compared to the chaos and shortages back in Germany. Letters from prisoners shocked families back home. Some wrote, "We are treated better here than we ever were by our own army." Others described meals of meat, potatoes, and vegetables, things ordinary Germans could only dream of in 1944. Some even gained weight while in captivity. One prisoner later recalled, "When I was captured, I weighed 120 pounds. When I returned to Germany, I was 160. For the Americans, it was both a matter of law and propaganda. Good treatment of prisoners showed the world that the US stood for civilization and decency, the opposite of Nazi brutality. It also encouraged German soldiers to surrender rather than fight to the death. Every satisfied prisoner was proof that America was not their enemy, just a country fighting for a different future. Ironically, some German POWs didn't want to go home after the war ended. They had learned English, made friends, and even admired the freedom and abundance they saw around them. When they finally returned to Germany, many were heartbroken by the destruction, cities in ruins, food rationed, and the nation defeated. Some said that life in an American prison camp had been the most stable period of their entire war. In the years that followed, historians called it one of the most humane treatment programs in modern warfare. The contrast between the starving Wehrmacht soldiers and the well-fed German POWs in America became a symbol of how differently the two sides saw human dignity. For many former prisoners, those camp meals, the bacon, the bread, the coffee, were not just food. They were the first taste of peace. If you love real, untold stories from World War II, subscribe to World War II Diaries and keep history alive.